This presentation will present strategies which UTS can implement to increase its positive social impact as an institution. The end of the academic period invariably entails submission dates for heavily weighted assignments and the imminent arrival of formal examinations, both of which require intensive studies that place heavy emotional and mental burdens on students as they carry out their preparations. Improving the emotional and mental well-being of its students is the means by which this UTS should seek to increase its positive social impact as an institution. There are two strategies to be proposed for increasing the positive social impact of UTS as an institution with regards to the mental and emotional well-being of its students. Both strategies present the theme of recognizing and accommodating social factors such as cultural differences and identities, as well as establishing tangible social networks and connections as significant means by which the burden students carry may be alleviated. The first strategy was developed through conducting a change theory analysis, for which a 6-step process was implemented, adapted from Kaplan and Clark. In order, these steps require identification of long-term goals and the assumptions behind them, backwards mapping by establishing preconditions for establishing these goals and the relevant assumptions, voicing assumptions about existing key factors and explaining the preconditions behind them, evaluating and choosing pathways by which these assumptions and preconditions may be implemented as part of the strategy, formulating indicators of measuring success, and reviewing the quality of the strategy devised. The outcome of this analysis was a threefold strategy. UTS should be seen to make active efforts to accommodate and provide for the students, which will alleviate the burden of stress and pressure by making them more comfortable while carrying out intense studies, aided by the inevitable realization that the university empathizes with and cares about its students. This can be done by providing creature comforts such as hot drinks and prepackaged fruit and nuts for students that stay late to study on campus, and to this effect, offering traditional meals to students observing religious festivities such as Ramadan when it comes time to break their fast, which accommodates the identities of students. UTS should also make the environment that students study in more hospitable and receptive, which can be done through adjusting the lighting to make study spaces perceived as warmer and friendlier, which will have the effect of relaxing students and making their burdens easier to cope with. This can be done through use of smart LED bulbs. The final component of this strategy is that UTS should provide a means by which students can alleviate their stress through external stimuli, such as arcade games or interacting with animals, in a way that they may direct their attention through minimal active effort to things they find enjoyable and invigorating to be around. A partnership with time zone could be pertinent to this effect. The larger theme of this strategy is that UTS should be seen to take an interest in and to invest in the emotional well-being of its students, which will result in said students feeling supported and reduce the weight of the burden attached to end-of-semester studies, improving well-being and social impact. The second strategy was devised through conducting an appreciative inquiry. It is important to note that any strategy developed through appreciative inquiry will be more complete, innovative, and effective when implemented through the entire university, which results in involvement from all relevant stakeholders and a more comprehensive planning process. In the condensed inquiry conducted in this report, we followed a 5 generic processes of AI approach, which was adapted from Moore and Watkins. In order, the 5 steps require definition of the focus of the inquiry, discovery of existing strengths within the institution, in this case UTS, sharing stories amongst the relevant stakeholders of these strengths and their experiences with them, and identifying the forces behind them that make them what they are, developing some form of representation of these existing strengths to provide focus to address the issue, and finally delivering the formed intention and subsequent plan of action. The strategy derived from this reveals a strategy for improving social impact that revolves around getting students to collaborate and work together in the same space, and emphasizing positive social interaction as a means of alleviating the burden placed on students by way of their studies. By opening additional spaces within the university reserved specifically for this purpose, students may work together in a way that reduces feelings of low mood and allows them to feel supported through the most strenuous period of the semester. The positive social impact expected is that students are able to complete their studies and academic preparations without subjecting themselves to the level of anguish, stress, and exhaustion that typically accompany the end of semester period. Students will feel actively supported by the university, which will accommodate the burden associated with their studies and UTS will consequently become more accommodating and less stressful place to study, which will improve the overall well-being of its students and, accordingly, its social impact.